I was just telling Julie that I lost some sleep last night over this mayoral battle, which so far I had been doing pretty well. But I knew today there's been a lot of development since we've been on the air since Wednesday. And it was a few small single-digit thousands of dollars that came in from the dark money being poured into this election, and since then, it has been exponentially more. And I thought through all of the very, very weird dynamics of this Idaho Falls mayoral race. And it wasn't weighing on me from the standpoint, oh, I'm so depressed. It's just I couldn't shut my mind down in trying to understand. That implied I understood it. I don't know that I do. And I will be glad when it's over. As the Thanksgiving holiday went on and I opened my mailbox, oh, look, another attack ad. Oh, look, another nasty mailer. Oh, look, more dark money coming in. And I have a few things that I want to say that I knew this is what the monologue's made for. This is the opportunity to really get things off my chest. And I have to choose my words very carefully here because the internet's forever and we do broadcast to a large number of people. But I will say I'm disappointed. I think you bring out the negative when you're in trouble. And I have felt since November 4th when Jeff won the vote, he won it by a very slim margin, I think 63 votes out of 11,000-ish votes. That's not a lot, but it is a win in a race that by all the traditional metrics, Lisa should have won quite handily. And I think they panicked, understandably, and all sorts of stops were pulled in an effort to make sure that Lisa comes out on top December 2nd, tomorrow. And I think when all those stops come out, phone calls get made, favors get called in, all sorts of new dynamics enter into what should just be a traditional Pepsi challenge. Which one do you like better? And now we're into the all-out smear phase of at least one of the candidates. And to me, I value when someone puts their name to something, it says something about them. And we have always felt, just listen to people because over time, they will tell you who they are. Now, I don't know what this looks like if Jeff Alldridge wins tomorrow. There's a very good chance he wins tomorrow. I have no idea. I will tell you, I could make a very solid case Lisa will win. I can make a very solid case that Jeff will win. I don't know. And I can't tell if I had to bet today. Now, I'm not even going to tell you what I think it is because I don't. I want people with uncertainty. I want people to get out and vote. But when I look at this, it's very sad to me. All of the misrepresentation that's going on. You have two defensible sides here. You have two different viewpoints about how to move forward. There's an awful lot of people, clearly, as demonstrated November 4th, that want a new direction. They want a different path. They haven't been terribly pleased with the path that we've been going down for a number of years now. It's not a devastating indictment of it. It's just, I think we need something new. And we need fresh eyes. We need a fresh approach. We need someone who has been on the outside looking in to come in and introduce new ideas. But yet the people on the inside that are protecting the inside, they act as though this is the most horrendous thing that could ever happen. And that's when the stops get pulled. And that's when all the money begins to flow from the dark money packs. And some of it's out of state. Some of it's out of Boise. But the figure that I've seen online is that somewhere around $63,000. And who knows how much is going to be spent and when it finally all washes out. But I saw the mailer, the Dear Neighbor mailer. I actually saw it online before it arrived in my own mailbox. And it goes through and it talks about this lawsuit by the Eastern Idaho Home Builders Association. And it has to do with impact fees. And we used to have an argument over should we have impact fees or not. And now I think there's a growing consensus we need impact fees because the new growth should be paying for the new infrastructure. It's a basic idea. A lot of people agree with it. Not everyone does, but a lot of people do. So we're not going to parse through that. We are where we are, and where we are is we have impact fees. Now the question is, how should those impact fees be spent? And I believe when it comes to things like accountability, because those are the words that you're using, is that the home builders are saying, look, we're building this development here. We're paying these impact fees. We want those impact fees to pay for the roads that lead to our development. We want those impact fees to pay for the water hookups that lead to our development. And I believe the city's general approach is the impact fees go into a big fund, and then they use the big fund for specific things, generally, like roads here and water lines there, and the infrastructure needed to accommodate growth. The home builders, they want it more specifically tailored to the developments they are building. Part of the lawsuit, apparently, is they want a refund because this accountability piece is not there. They want a refund of their what's been paid so far. Now, they're probably not going to get it, and everybody probably knows they're probably not going to get it. But the issue here is when it comes to litigation, the reason why they ask for that is because that's what you do in litigation. You go for the high bar. You go for everything. You go, I had to, no details here, but I had to initiate a lawsuit. And my attorney said, well, this is what we're going to go for here. And what I was going for was actually reasonable, but it was more than we knew we'd probably get. And we ended up getting a decent amount from it. But in litigation and in lawsuits, it's very common. I will say always is a big word, but many times you go for substantially more than you know you'll realistically get. It's just how litigation works. It's how bidding on when you buy a car and the dealer wants you to pay full price and you're like, nah, I think I'll pay this much. And then you haggle over it. It's just a starting point for a negotiation. But the problem that I have with this, and it's important, the honesty is very important. And there is massive lying going on. Jeff Alldridge is on record over and over and over again. He does not want to get rid of impact fees. That is a lie. If you are saying it, stop lying. Not for my sake, but for your own. You have to live with who you are. And that's a lie. And for some reason in our culture, we've created a safe haven for lying in a political campaign. But lying is lying, and it isn't right. And it should be stopped. So here's the issue that I think is raised here with all of these negative ads that are going out. Do I think Lisa could win this race? Yeah, absolutely. I think she could. I don't know which way this is going to go. But the disservice that these ads are doing to her are that if she wins, she will inherit a very divided community that will resent the way she won. I think she could win without these negative ads. But the way you win an election can matter as much as winning itself. And if she wins And it's perceived that she's won because out of state, out of area, dark money PACs pushed her across the finish line. She will have somewhere around 50% of the community that is resentful how she won. And it's going to create great difficulty for her. Furthermore, when I'm not a big fan of these city council endorsements that are going on, especially in a runoff race where the person you're endorsing against won more votes. So what happens if you're Jeff Alldridge and you win your race? You now have John Radford and Michelle Dingman, who put their names to an incredibly misleading dark money mailer. And you have, I think I saw Freeman did an endorsement. I think there's a couple of others that did an endorsement. And now you want to work with this mayor that you endorsed against. And now you want to work with a mayor that you signed a deceptive letter to try to defeat. It's terrible optics. I don't know now if I think so far we have Kirk Larson and Jim Francis who have not been out in front publicly endorsing. If they maintain that for the next 24-ish hours, I give them praise and kudos. Thank you for looking ahead. Thank you for realizing that either one of these candidates will be the mayor of Idaho Falls, and you don't want to create a sour relationship with one of them by endorsing against them. I commend you. If that's your thinking, I commend you for that foresight. Now, I don't know what happens. I wish I could just come here to this mic and tell you magically what exactly is going to happen tomorrow. None of us know. This is why it's such a hotly contested, much watched race. But my last thought here before I take a break. All of the check boxes, and this is one of those things, there's always the surface, and then there's the subconscious level of what's going on. The surface on this campaign is that, $60,000+ of outside money has been spent. And by outside, I mean these are not people that are directly affiliated with Idaho Falls. They have no investment in Idaho Falls. They're out-of-area PACs like Defend and Protect Idaho. And there's other money. I guess there's money coming in from Wyoming and Atlanta. And when you see that and so much money coming in, you obviously are going to be suspicious of this. But the question, and this is where the subconscious part comes in, you ask yourself, why? Why is that money needed in this race for her to win? She has the endorsement of the governor. She has the endorsement of a congressman. She has the endorsement of a billionaire. She has the endorsement of a well-respected former county commissioner. She has the endorsement of a well-respected businessman. She, in Mario Hernandez. She has all of these endorsements. And now all of this money coming in. There's no reason on paper why this race is even competitive, but it is competitive. And there's that subconscious question of, why does she need this much help? Why are all of these stops being pulled to help a candidate who has a well-established and widely respected name, a deep resume, clearly qualified, her background, the money has lined up behind her. The biggest voices have lined up behind her. So why? Why? And I remember a story from, I think it was the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And Stephen Covey tells this story about his son, Sean, who went on to become a quarterback, I believe, for BYU. But when he was little and playing baseball, I don't know how old, maybe 10 years old, he was a little awkward and struggling a little bit. And his parents were like over-encouraging him and then getting after people who groaned about their son's play. And what they realized is that this over encouragement of their son, this almost pampering, this over support of their kid was sending a subconscious message that he's not enough. And when they backed away and said, okay, you know what? We have to believe in his native ability. He'll get there. He'll learn what he needs to learn. And he'll do okay. He can stand on his own. And they stopped with the protectionism. He started getting better. He started learning, oh, mom and dad, trust me. They don't have to. And to apply that to this race, there is an underlying sense of Lisa Burtenshaw needs lots of additional help. And I think that makes voters uncomfortable. Do I think she does? No, I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't. But this is how you are hamstringing a campaign, in my mind, by throwing so much outside money at her and so many resources at her that it's causing many people, and ask yourself, you've probably had this thought, why is there so much money being spent in this race for her and against Jeff? Why? And I think that's the why that is actually backfiring and keeping this race incredibly competitive and in play. When you look at the money, you look at all the metrics, the money, the name recognition, the experience, the quasi-incumbent factor, all of that, this should be about a 60-40 or a 65-35 race, but it's not. And it's going to be interesting to see how all of it turns out. And I think the saddest part of all of this, as this massive amount of outside dark money coming in and now being defended by supporters, some supporters, not all, most supporters just don't say much about it, but some are proactively defending it. I don't know that it works out. We're going to be left with an incredibly divided and scarred community, and it didn't have to be this way. It's going to be a tremendous challenge, quite frankly, after a divisive campaign like this, for either one of these candidates to lead as mayor of Idaho Falls. And to me, that's a pretty sad reality and dynamic that is created by what appears to be, desperation, for lack of a better word. We'll be back. It's 8:27 now on News Talk 107.9. $8:31 now. News Talk 107.9. If you'd like to join us on the program, 208-542-1079. Julie, all right. I know you have lots of opinions about this. Thoughts?
Okay, so I'll just give a brief overview of the things that I have said today after being out of the state for, I think I was gone 9 total days.
You're so lucky. Yeah.
It was great to have a break. I'm going to say that. I was so tired of the constant fighting back and forth online. Mm-hmm. So after taking a break for about 9 days and doing something that was far more important than this mayoral race, which I would hope that most people can get a grasp on the real important issues in life.
Yeah.
This is an issue that needs to be given, your attention.
Yeah.
But I got to spend time with family and be around, honest relationships and everything. What all of you people have going on online here is not honest relationships. So that's what I mean by something that was far more important than the online mess that's going on. These flyers that you're talking about, PACs that we don't even know who funds them or where the money comes from. That's a whole bunch of dishonesty that's just actually really gross.
Yeah.
So my overall view of the race after coming back after 9 days is that this race has now become Jeff versus the establishment. It is not Jeff Alldridge versus Lisa Burtenshaw anymore.
Yeah.
And I fear that really hurts Lisa. I think she would have had a far better result on the November election. And I fear it's only going to get worse with this December election because she has been pushed to the background and this race has become about all of these people, her endorsements, the big money, the PACs, the everything, instead of just about Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
That's my take.
Yeah, I think that's a good take. I saw John Radford's video endorsement. Mm-hmm. I think he's done a written endorsement, a video endorsement now.
There's a new flyer.
There's a new flyer. I think tomorrow is a Morse code endorsement. And then
you missed smoke signals.
There's smoke signals. And then there's probably going to be a paper mache endorsement coming soon. Or whatever. What is it when you cut out the little letters like serial killers do it?
A ransom letter?
Yeah, it has a theme, like I guess a ransom letter theme. Anyway, but the thing that irritated me about that as I watched it, I might find the audio and play, is that he thinks that saying Lisa is going to be Casper 2.0 is misogynistic, that it's denigrating because they're both women. And I'm like, why are you playing the gender card? They just happen to be women.
Well, look, we could play the gender card in reverse because Lisa hasn't gotten endorsements from women.
That's true.
So if we want to go the gender route,
yeah,
answer that question. Well, look, I'm not going that place, but if you're going to go there,
right,
in your endorsements, I'll use his word, full-throated investigation into who is endorsing her.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I know. And I just thought, that's not you're not convincing anyone, because people have legitimate concerns about this. For you to say, well, it's denigrating to women. No, it isn't. Mm-hmm. If Casper was, there were worries that Kamala Harris was just going to be a continuation of the Biden campaign.
Yeah.
It's no different than that. But you have these people that are progressives. They have to inject gender and race or whatever into absolutely everything. Mm-hmm. And it's the reason they do it is they think it puts their political opponents on the defensive. We don't care anymore. Mm-hmm. All right. You can live in the gender world all you want, and everything is a litmus test of misogyny or bigotry. That might be your realm. But real people and genuine people just look at the issues and say, is this going to be best for the community or not? Is this the direction this person's going or not? And I think that's such a miserable way to exist, where you're measuring everything on a gender scale or a race scale or whatever a woke metric you're choosing.
We've analyzed this race to infinity and back.
Yes.
It's just gone on forever. Never once on air or in our private conversations have we referenced that Lisa would be better because she's female or Jeff would be better because he's male. Because guess what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
That's not important.
Yeah. No, I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
It's not even part of the race.
Yeah. I genuinely look at candidates for what they're offering in terms of outcomes, policy, laws, whatever the case may be. So I don't know. That's something that they just keep, it's a card they keep pulling, and it just is, I'm tired of it.
You're over it.
I'm over it.
I get
I'm
it.
way over it.
I totally get it.
Yeah. All right. 208-542-1079. Let's go to the phones. Hi, caller. How are you?
Is that me?
It's you. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you. Well, I don't trust Alldridge because he's being backed in money by Brian Smith. I can't, and I've seen all the negative advertisements on the TV.
Can I ask you a question? Why?
Go ahead.
Why would you boil your choice down to that one detail? Why give up your power?
I don't trust Brian Smith, and I'm pretty sure that he must be funded by him because
he's not funded by him. I don't know where you're getting that. Where did you get the idea that Jeff Alldridge is being funded by Brian Smith?
The information I got that he was getting money from him.
Okay, what information? From where?
Through one of the district council members of the Republican Party.
Which one?
Which one?
Yeah.
Joe Alstrom.
Okay, so I don't know that Brian has made a donation.
We would have to go to the Sunshine Report, but the term funding his campaign would imply that he's given thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, because that's where these campaigns have gone, in money that's spent. I can tell you absolutely that's not accurate. I don't know if he made a campaign donation.
Yeah.
It's not, I don't believe it's sizable.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to ask you another question, and I don't mean to be. I think we're all kind of we got a lot of energy pent up here, so I don't want this to be confrontational, and I don't want the call to end confrontationally. But I do want to ask you this question: does it worry you at all? You've mentioned, and we don't even know if Brian's donated. I know he does support Jeff Alldridge, and he has posted things in support of Jeff. But I don't, in terms of actual monetary donations, I don't know. But does it bother you at all that we're now up above $60,000 of dark money from PACs coming in to buy mailers and TV ads and send out letters that are opposing Jeff Alldridge? Does that give you any concern at all that there's these outside groups that are pouring tens of thousands of dollars into this race against Jeff?
Well, it does concern me. And I believe that there's money coming from somewhere, because I noticed that originally the signs that were for Jeff Alldridge, they were just smaller. And then all of a sudden, these bigger, enormous signs for Jeff Alldridge are all over town.
Okay, well, you're shifting the discussion here. This money I'm talking about has gone all to Lisa. Well, to try to get her elected. It's in opposition to Jeff, but it's in an effort to get her elected. So you're upset that you're seeing a few more signs that are bigger for Jeff? That's
Okay, the TV ads that are on the TV.
Yeah.
They're against Jeff, and he's apparently involved with some PAC, and real estate.
No, it's a
Is there
local.
truth
It's
to
a
that?
Nope. See that there's so many mistruths out there. It is the East Idaho Home Builders Association. And they're very transparent. They are exactly what they say they are. They're the Eastern Idaho Home Builders Association. It's not some dark. Can you tell me who Defend and Protect Idaho is? Caller, are you still there?
I'm still here.
Okay, can you tell me
No.
who Defend and Protect Idaho is?
I'm not sure what the question is.
Can you tell me who Defend and Protect Idaho is?
Who Protect Idaho is?
Protect and Defend Idaho. It's a PAC. It's a political
Okay.
action committee. Do you know who's behind it?
I don't know who they are.
Okay. The Idaho Liberty PAC? Do you know who's behind that?
No, but I trust there got to be some truth to what they're doing.
Why? Why do you trust
Because
that?
If it's not factual, he could sue him.
How long have you been following politics?
Long time.
Okay, so why doesn't it go the other direction then?
Why does not what go the other direction?
Well, you seem to think that all the dollars against Jeff are legitimate because Jeff could sue them if they lie. But the money spent against Lisa is all corrupt? It seems like you have two sets of rules. That's all I'm saying.
Well, the facts about Lisa is that she has political experience with the city.
We'll be back after a quick break.
Hey, it's Brad from Now 105.1 and QP99. I'm in the studio here. I love our studios, by the way. Ranger Rick back there. There's Neil and Julie doing their thing. Hey, when you want to advertise on the radio, what do? You call the radio station, right? But what do you do when you want to advertise on Facebook and Instagram and Hulu and Disney Plus and Peacock and the other TV streaming services? You can kind of click around on them and make guesses or read books or take courses online on how to do that advertising. Or you could call us at the radio station. At Sandhill Media, we take care of your local radio and digital marketing. So reach out to us at sandhillmediagroup.com and we'll make sure that your message gets heard and seen wherever your customers are.
Okay, now you're changing the subject here. We're talking about the supporters of these candidates and where the money comes from. On one hand, you have a local home builders association, and they are clear about their name. The other one, as you've just admitted, you have no idea who they are, but you think they're probably good because they're against Jeff, essentially. So my point is, you can't name it. It's money coming from Boise PAC. It's money coming from out of state. You're not able to identify where it's coming from, but you're still okay with it. And that, to me, is problematic.
You're trying to tell me that there's no truth in what the TV ads are advertising.
I'm saying there's massive half-truth. Have you ever had someone who will tell you something that is factually true, but it was intended to deceive?
You're admitted that Brian Smith is supporting Jeff Alldridge.
I'm not admitting anything. If you've been on social media for 15 minutes, that's easy to find out. I'm not admitting something like that's something I'm trying to hide. Brian Smith also supports Donald Trump.
Well, that's good. But
do you hate Trump too?
Well, no,
Okay, then why
Trump?
Oh, you support? Okay. Now we've got to, Julie. You take it from here. I can't navigate through this.
Let me just explain where Neil is going with this. Is that you started the phone call by saying that you couldn't vote for Jeff Alldridge because he was supported by Brian Smith, but now you're saying you can vote for Donald Trump because
I did not say that. I do support Donald Trump.
That's what Julie just said.
Yeah, the point that Neil is making is that you are using a reason to not vote for a candidate is because Brian Smith supports that candidate. But Brian Smith also supports Trump, but you're okay with that, but you're not okay with a local candidate because Brian Smith supports that candidate.
I don't trust Brian Smith.
Okay, I think that's fair.
Okay.
I have no issue with that. Whatever. You have the ability to make that decision on your own. But to decide about who should be a mayoral candidate based upon that feels shallow. And I have said this I've said this all the way across. Endorsements don't really mean anything to me. I don't really care who endorses a candidate. I care what the candidate's going to do. Like I won't. Oh, did he hang up?
He hung up.
Okay. Look, I was willing to have a conversation with him. Here's the deal. Yeah. This is nothing new. It's not new with this caller. 2 hours ago, I asked people to get out and vote and to not be lazy and spend a feyou moments and actually figure out the candidates. Stop looking at everybody else.
Right. Well, you're sort of relinquishing your power when you do that.
I just think this race is worth more than that.
Yeah.
It's gone a direction I don't love. That doesn't mean everybody has to agree with me. That's fine. Some people think that this is the direction it should have gone.
Yeah.
I actually think the best part of this whole entire race was 3 months ago when we were analyzing who Jeff Alldridge was and who Lisa Burtenshaw was.
Yeah.
We're not there anymore.
No, we're not. We're not. And the people surrounding have made it about them. And that to me is
it's unfortunate.
But Julie, was it always about them?
Maybe. And maybe we were being too authentic and genuine at looking at who the two candidates were.
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me. I roll the tape. I will say it. How many times have I said we have two good candidates?
Oh, many times.
People are acting like one is a superhero and one is a villain, and it just depends on which side you're on.
Yeah. No, it's true.
It's crazy to me.
I think we've reached that fatigue point, haven't we? Like it's.
Oh, absolutely.
I think I reached it about a week and a half ago. Mm-hmm. All right, it's 8:48. News Talk 107.9. We'll be back. All right, it is 8:54 now on News Talk 107.9. By the way, if you'd like to reach us on the Stones Automotive Group call and text line, that number is 208-542-1079. And we know you're all tired. We're going to get through it the next, I would say, 48 hours, but really less than that. And so we'll see. We typically will do stump speeches either on election eve or the day of the election. And I guess there are 6 candidates. We've got a council race and 2 mayoral races. You're free to call in, but I don't know that we're going to do a formal stump speech section just because it's different and it's just different. So we'll see. But we do want to give the candidates one last opportunity to get their message out. And by the way, when they do this, it is we don't query them. We don't dive in. We don't fact check. We don't drill down. We just give them an opportunity to speak out and make their final pitch. Anything you need to talk about here, Julie?
Sure. So based upon the phone call,
yeah.
This is nothing new. We will reach out during commercials or whatever, clarify information. We went to the Sunshine Report, looked it up, didn't see an individual donation on the current Sunshine Report by Brian Smith.
Yeah.
And so I looked at Neil and I said, well, I'm going to text him.
Yeah.
So when I texted him, Brian called, and here's what he had to say. He said he's never individually met Jeff Alldridge. They've never been introduced or spent time together.
They don't even know each other.
No. And he said, I have supported his campaign. I have said that's who I'm voting for simply because I see the people who are supporting Lisa's campaign and it makes me nervous.
Okay.
Okay. So that I wanted to clear up what was, because it's obvious with that call that there's misinformation out there.
Oh, yeah.
And so when we can be as clear as possible on things, we're going to be as clear as possible on things. So I went right to the source.
They've never even met.
That's what Brian Smith just told me.
I mean, maybe there's been a phone call or something, but physically they've never met.
No, he says he hasn't even spoken to him.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Never heard that, have you?
No.
All right, we'll be back. It's 8:57 on News Talk 107.9. All right, it's 8:59 now on News Talk 107.9. Hour 2 coming up. All right, welcome back. 9:07. Hour 2 on this Monday on News Talk 107.9. You okay over there, Julie? What's going on?
Couldn't get Facebook Live fired up, but we're going to reboot it here, and it'll be okay. Just give me 3 or 4 minutes.
Okay. All right. We're working at it. So, Julie, I sent you a clip of Todd Achilles.
Oh, yeah.
Can we talk about this? Mm-hmm. Because it's not mayoral.
Yeah, we need a break.
We need something non-mayoral to talk about. So, Todd Achilles, this is an ad that he did. He's put it online. Hold on. Here we go. Just a minute.
An independent candidate for the U.S. Senate. Right now, the U.S. is deploying major military power in the Caribbean and toward Venezuela.
Okay, I don't know if everyone can hear it because there's a left-right stereo issue on this video, so I could fix it in just a little bit here. But he's talking about the bombing of the drug smugglers. Mm-hmm. And I don't understand what he's trying to accomplish with this video because I think most Idahoans are not losing sleep and heartbroken that Donald Trump is wiping out the drug smugglers coming from Venezuela.
Right.
And if you're going to run as a liberal in Idaho, you've ditched the Democrat Party name. You need to stop sounding like a Democrat then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this, when you look out for Venezuelan drug smugglers, and I know he would take issue with my characterization of that, But that's the optics of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Idahoans are thrilled. Many Idahoans are thrilled that Donald Trump is taking out the Venezuelan drug smugglers.
Yeah, they would prefer that Venezuelan drug smugglers die versus people, a lot of them children, teenagers, from fentanyl overdoses.
Yes.
We have personal friends whose children they've had a child die of a fentanyl overdose. I'm pretty sure those people are perfectly fine with stopping the drugs from getting here.
Yeah, I think so too. I just don't know why he's choosing these issues that aren't resonant with the residents.
Yeah, because you've got other things you could fight here. It's
Yeah.
kind of a weird ad.
It is. It's a weird battle to take on. All right, we're going to go to the phones. Hi, caller. How are you today?
I'm doing just fine. I have a couple of issues with Lisa. First being the fact that she has been running the city council, and now all of her ads use the word change. Change. She's an agent of change. Because the politicians know that change is a word that voters like to hear. But if she's so much into change, why hasn't she changed it while she was running the council? The other real issue I have is while she was on the council approved a 25% pay increase for the mayor, and now she's running for mayor. Now, I've never got a 25% pay increase in my life. If you ask me, this is a textbook example of corruption.
Well, the optics are certainly not good. I remember we actually had Mayor Casper in during that pay raise debate. I think the let's separate out, the council got like a 37% pay increase over a couple of years. And the mayoral salary is actually bringing it in parity with other similarly sized cities. I think they're raising it to somewhere around $120,000. And while I agree with you on the optics and the timing, that's about what mayors of the cities the size of Idaho Falls are making. So I guess I would say that to balance out your comment.
Well, that might be true, but the optics are what they are. I mean, if they deserve a pay raise, maybe she should have done it 2 years ago. But now the fact that she wants to be mayor after giving herself a 25% pay raise is pretty pathetic. And what really blows me away is how the governor and the representative and all these people are supporting her, where she is the status quo. And the people of Idaho Falls understand that, I hope, even though all the advertising has been going on. And I agree with you, but where's all this money? Why is all this money coming in to support her if she's such got all this experience and everything? Her experience is what people don't like. Yeah.
Well, that's true, because there's experience is typically considered a good thing, but there's another side to that coin, which is, are they so entrenched that they're not going to change? And that's a good point.
Let me mention one more thing that you've been doing while I was on the city council. Idaho state law has an open meetings law. The open meetings law says anytime a legislative body, people who can pass rules or legislation or taxes, any legislative body meets, if there is a quorum of people there, which means more than a majority where they can actually do business, it has to be an open meeting. It has to be advertised. There has to be minutes taken and, the whole shebang. Well, the city council gets together before what they have been doing under Lisa. They've been getting together privately, talking about issues, deciding how things are going to go, basically saying this is how the vote's going to go. And then they go back into council for the official meetings. That is breaking the law.
Now, question: do you know this is happening? I mean, you're okay. And what's your source? How do you know this?
I talked to a couple of local politicians.
Okay,
and look into it. I think as a news station that might be worthwhile looking into. It should have been done before now. The paper should have done it. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But the people who I've talked to are pretty high level within the government. And that bothers them, so just for what it's worth, people ought to think about that.
Okay, well, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I will say let's be careful with that, because if you're accusing something criminal here But if we don't have actual dates and evidence and it's hearsay, we probably should be careful with it.
Yeah, I'm not going to participate in that for the same reason I wanted to clear up the last caller that we took.
Yeah.
That made the accusations about the funding of Jeff's campaign. We don't have any proof for this accusation either. And sure, if I could text someone right now and clear it up, I would.
Well, yeah, I would too. And I mean, if there are, like, let's face it, all the politicians listen to us. So if you're a high-level politician and you have info, spill the tea. We'll track it down.
Yeah. If I had someone to text to back up what the caller said or to refute what the caller said, I would. I don't know who he was speaking to that he said has a high-level position in Idaho Falls city government, but they do have very set rules that they're supposed to comply with. I'll go on record as saying sometimes I think those rules are a little outrageous.
Yeah, I would too.
They're a little over the top.
Like I've heard of scenarios where they will run into each other at the grocery store and they're like, "Oh, we can't talk."
Sorry,
we can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they can. They just can't discuss any business,
right?
That may come before the. Although it's interesting. There's an ice cream social for Lisa tonight.
Okay.
What happens if you have multiple city council members that have endorsed for her?
Okay.
Can they all be there for this, or do you have a quorum?
I have no idea what the rules are with that, but that's an interesting, possibility of what could happen.
Yeah, are they going to have a hot fudge quorum?
Mm-hmm. It's your newest Blizzard flavor.
Right, there you go. Ben and Cherries. Council quorum flavored. Yeah, no. So I don't know. I think that's something they have to be on the watch for because I think you have to be careful when all of them are in the same place. So maybe you have to have a recusal. I don't know. I don't know what happens.
You know what else I would love is for any of these three current sitting council members who have openly endorsed Lisa, and one specifically, John Radford, has gone over the top. Every media platform available that man has been on. So, except this show. You're welcome to come on, John.
That's true. Standing invitation.
I would ask any of those three sitting council members to say, no matter who wins, how do you now keep it completely neutral in your position?
Well, I talked about that in my monologue. I don't know how, because there's a very good chance Jeff wins this race. Mm-hmm. If you're Jeff and you have two members of the council that have signed their name to a very deceptive letter about your position, how do you trust them in anything? How do you work with them?
I don't know. I think that's difficult. And I think the reverse is true for Lisa. Lisa wins.
Yeah.
She's got these people who've endorsed her. If Brandon Lee wins, we're now at 4.
Right.
People who have endorsed her. That sure feels like we've tipped the scales.
Yeah.
And I just don't love that.
I don't either.
And that has nothing to do with Lisa or Jeff.
Right.
That has to do with these people.
It's situational, and you want to be able to maintain your independence. Mm-hmm. And if you're just solidly on record, all in for one and can't stand the other one, that makes the optics going forward, whoever wins, kind of difficult.
It is. I think it's difficult for both sides. I just don't like this.
Which is why I praised Kirk Larson and Francis. Jim Francis. Yeah, there's 2 Jims, right? Mm-hmm. If their rationale was, I'm not going to endorse or oppose because I have to work with one of the two in the future, I praise them for that. That is the right approach here. And I'm sure they have their own opinions, and I can probably guess what they are because they've worked with Lisa a lot. But I think they're smart enough to say, I'm not going to go out there and make a big endorsement right now because I don't want to create an instant obstacle and hurdle if Jeff wins, and I don't want to create the optics of being a sycophant if Lisa wins. Mm-hmm. Like you need to act independently.
Just neutrality.
Yeah, right. And this is a very weird, very, very weird thing that we're seeing right now.
And now I'm back to what I said the last hour and then the hour previous to that, which is this race has become about things that aren't about the candidates.
Yeah, that's true.
It's so unfortunate.
It is. Have you ever seen anything like this, Julie?
Not in a local race.
It's weird.
This is crazy.
It is crazy. It is crazy. But you know what's not crazy? Having a steak from Grand Peaks Prime Meats.
That's crazy at all.
That's perfectly sane and rational.
Do you know what we're coming up on?
What?
Prime rib season.
Oh, it is prime
People
rib
do
season.
that all the time for their Christmas holiday. You need Grand Peaks Prime Meats to help you with that dinner.
Yeah, I would agree, and they can help you. If you get on gpprimemeats.com, check out their prime rib, and who wouldn't want to have prime rib for Thanksgiving or for Christmas Eve dinner?
They get it all ready for you, too.
Oh,
You can have it like all prepared. It is just amazing.
Yeah.
And if you're not looking for prime rib, but you're looking for some help with, organizing your busy schedule during the holidays, jump on those fajitas that are prepacked. They're fantastic. They might be my favorite.
You do love the fajitas.
I do love the fajitas.
As do I.
There's plenty others. They have casseroles. They have soups. They have
French dip.
They've got honey chicken. So many things that can make for an easy protein-filled dinner.
They're even venturing into things like lasagna now. Mm-hmm. I saw that too.
Yeah. gpprimemeats.com.
And the carbs are going, stay in your lane. And they're like, no, we're offering the lasagna. So
we're good at protein, and now we're going to be good at carbs.
Yeah, that's true. So gpprimemeats.com. Check them out today. And make sure you stock your freezer. And Julie, do you think it would make a good Christmas gift if you bought either a certificate or a box full of delicious meat for someone you
bet. Help someone fill their freezer. It's an excellent gift.
All right. gpprimemeats.com, 921. We'll be back after this on News Talk 1079. Okay. I feel like in the Todd Achilles logo, the Idaho's a little crooked.
I haven't looked that close.
I could be wrong. Yeah, go to that video I sent you and then look at the...
Did you send that to me in Facebook? Huh? I can't go there.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you guys. I have been overdue for a new phone for about 4 or 5 months. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time. Finally got a new phone this weekend because they were having a Black Friday sale.
Yeah.
So it was worth the wait because it saved a significant amount of money. They have made it so slick and so easy to transfer over your stuff. I have yet to really have a major hiccup.
Good.
Did it all in about 45 minutes.
It's not bad.
All of my apps are open, everything. I do have an issue with PayPal. I can't get my money out of my PayPal account. Right now, I've got to go clear something with my bank, but I don't need that money. Like it's money that's just sitting there that my clients have paid me with.
Yeah.
It's smooth.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. We're going to have some Christmas music for bumper music. Although you won't be able to hear it. Sorry. All right, 9:25 now on News Talk 1079. And let's go right to the phones. Caller, how are you today?
Great.
Good. What's up?
Well, you were talking earlier about the salary of the mayor.
Yeah.
And I find that kind of interesting that Idaho Falls has, I believe it's 11 departments that report to the mayor.
Yeah.
And the mayor is making less than any one of those 11 department heads. I think that's kind of interesting. If you got one of the department heads making a little over $300,000 and he reports to the mayor that's making what, 120 something thousand?
Yeah, that's what
messed up.
Is it?
Well, yes, there's other cities that are run by city administrators.
Okay.
And
Don't say a name, but what department has a head making $300,000?
I think it's your power company.
Oh, okay.
Which is really an interesting situation we have going on in Idaho Falls.
It is.
It's a little unique.
I mean, because that's a power company. So that I don't know what the going rate is for someone who runs the power company, but that might be what you have to pay to get somebody qualified to do it.
True. Same goes for a mayor.
Yeah.
You should pay a mayor. If you want a good mayor, you should pay a mayor a wage.
Here's the thing. I think it's probably harder to run a power company than it is to run a city.
Yeah, you got a point, but they're both management positions. So the guy that runs the power company, he knows all about power company, right? And a mayor expects that person to know how to run that power company.
Right.
But a mayor is expecting all of his departments to know how to run their department, correct?
No. No. Well, let me give you one example, and I know Julie has something she wants to say really quick. I'm sure this is probably still true, that the highest paid state employee is the head coach at Boise State football. The head football coach for Boise State makes far more, multiples what the governor makes. But that's how much you have to pay to get a good competitive coach.
Yes, I can see that. That's kind of ridiculous too, though.
Well, it's supply and demand. I mean, it's just the...
Yeah, it's just what I was going to say is my husband runs a business, dozens of employees.
Yeah.
And so he's the CEO, but there's also a CEO of Google. Just because they're both CEOs doesn't mean they make comparative rates.
Right.
Right. I understand that. I just point out that I think that the salary of the mayor of Idaho Falls is way too low for the responsibilities that are given to that mayor.
Well, but that's that's odd. In fact, it's interesting that you call. So you're saying we should pay more because they deserve it, or we should pay more so we attract more competitive talent? Like, what's your argument here? Or both?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I mean, if a person's out there running for mayor, they need to be enticed somehow to run for mayor.
Right, and we have a very, very competitive race with two pretty qualified people.
Also in Pocatello, yeah.
That's true.
So
I think they're being enticed, and we're actually on the same side of this issue, caller, because I didn't have an issue that they got a raise. It was overdue in the city of Idaho Falls, and I know that was a lot of sticker shock for people to see it, but if they would dig into it, the raise was overdue, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and
I agree 100%.
And so we're on the same side of this. You're just expecting the salary to be much higher than what the going salary rate is for somebody in that position.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think you look at it in the market. We actually got a text, Julie and I did personally, from someone. There's not a mayor in Idaho that makes $300,000. So.
True. I'm not saying the mayor of Idaho Falls should make $300,000.
Okay.
I just think it's currently what the board that sets these salaries, I believe, has got the salary way too low for the size of Idaho Falls and what Idaho Falls is facing.
Yeah.
On their growth issues.
Yeah. I got you. I appreciate your call. This is a thought experiment that I float once in a while, and everybody thinks I'm a moron when I put it out there. I think if we were to, say, triple the salary of members of Congress, it would still be nothing in the overall federal budget, but we would attract much better talent to Congress.
Yeah, you've mentioned this before.
If you were to pay them $500,000 a year or $600,000 a year, I think you would get far better candidates that would come forward. And I think we would demand some things in return, like, I don't know, balance the budget. Don't live on CRs all the time and instead actually do budgets. And
you can't trade stocks.
Right. Yeah, no stock trading. You can't become mega gazillionaires while you're there.
We're paying you a very great wage. You don't need to be dabbling in the stock market.
Yeah, like we'd have to get something in return for that money. But I think just offering that much more, you'd actually have higher caliber talent show up. So. 208-542-1079. Because you can argue when you offer too little, they're not there for the money. They're there for something else. Mm-hmm. And it's that something else where
That makes people a little nervous.
the mischief happens. So, all right, let's go to the phones again. Caller, welcome to the show.
That me?
It's you. Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks for taking my call. So, how is the higher inputs, wages, worked with schooling? I mean, your argument falls flat for me anyway. That $500,000 for congressman, we get better congressmen. No, I don't. It doesn't equal out, and it's just, I don't know. That's kind of crazy for me. But the main reason I called, I watched the video this morning, getting ready for work and it was from Paul Krugman. You know him, who he is, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And he pointed out some really interesting things. And I've thought this for probably 3 months now, that the House and the Senate are both going to be flipped in the midterms just because of people's sentiment, not that anything Trump and Congress is doing wrong, but the sentiment and the actualities are that prices aren't coming down and all this kind of stuff, and people are upset, and you can see it in the polling. That's what Krugman addresses. And I just, I'm a Reagan old conservative, and tariffs, Trump came out and said they're lies and whatever, and they're not. They trickle down, no matter how you look at it, to us, the consumer. And those trillions of dollars that have been gathered into the Treasury are money is money that's coming out of the consumer's pocket to pay for these tariffs, because those companies, they don't pay it. They pass it on. They can't. They'll go broke. And so that's just, I wanted to get that out there. My prediction is that the midterms, Republicans are going to lose across the board, House and the Senate, and that's not bidding well for the future.
So
anyway,
let me ask you a question, because a lot of Republicans who think like you do were predicting that the tariffs were going to collapse the economy, that it was going to lead to all sorts of just economic crisis for the nation. Would you at least agree? No, it isn't.
We had the biggest Black Friday we've had ever. Friday.
Yeah, but it all went on credit cards, and anyway.
Okay,
we're going to have to disagree on this.
We are, because you're.
Great.
We're not saying it's not. That's not what I said. You were predicting economic crisis, that it was going to be economic turmoil for our country. We all agree the economy could be doing better, sure, but that's not the parameters that I put around the question.
And how far are we into his term? I mean, we're not even in the first year yet.
I know, but we're months and months and months into tariffs, and it did not prove to be the economic crisis that those who perennially don't like Trump predicted that it would be.
It's caused the price of everything to go up and not come down.
Okay, one thing we talk with you a lot.
Yep.
We need to figure out that absolutes don't exist. You just said everything. Gas is below $2 in a couple of states across the nation. That is not.
It hasn't come down to where it was here, and that's what we count on is here.
Here.
Yeah.
He's a president of an entire nation.
I understand that, and he crows about the price of gas coming down across the nation, and it hasn't. Selected places, it has. I'll agree with you on that. The same goes for other things. He didn't bring the price of eggs down. The egg farmers replacing the avian flu-killed hens is what got the eggs back on reasonable price.
Okay, all right. It doesn't matter. You know what, Julie? It doesn't matter what we put forward.
It doesn't. It's fine.
Well,
everything is going to get...
putting that prediction out there, and we'll see at the midterms whether I'm right or you're right. That's
okay. We'll see.
All right.
Neither here nor there. Okay. Thank you.
I want everyone in the listening audience to understand the massive amount of self-control that I just had.
Oh, it was massive.
To not bring up the concept that the Wall Street Journal broke a story over the weekend that the money given to Ukraine by America has been misused by their top leaders in Ukraine.
I was waiting for Ukraine to come up, and it's odd he didn't bring it up this time.
I had massive self-control there because it would have started a huge fight, and I'm not in the mood. So here we go.
Yeah, okay. Well, and furthermore, and I know, Julie, you're not fully on board with this, but to address the last caller's concerns that, the tariffs have increased the prices on some things, but there are likely $2,000 checks coming to most Americans.
Yeah, I don't love this, but that's the promise.
But that's kind of the thinking, is that this will refund those who paid in. Mm-hmm. And so I'm sure he'd say, well, why did you take it in the first place? Whatever. But
and just one more thing that he said.
Yeah.
Well, they're not coming down across the nation. Gas prices are not coming down across the nation, but they are in select states.
Isn't that across the nation? All right. Let's go to the phones. Hi, caller. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Just wanted to rebuttal what your former caller was talking about. If things are so bad in the United States of America, why aren't Americans lining up on the Mexican and Canadian border wanting to get into those countries?
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Very good question.
Yeah. And, food prices go up and down. Gas prices go up and down. We have a lot of people that are getting aid. But you know something? Where else would you go in the world to live the standards we have?
Well, that's a good question. And I just, 11 days ago, here's a headline from Fox Business. Americans hit the road for Thanksgiving travel with the lowest holiday gas prices since the pandemic.
Yeah.
So now you can cherry pick data and find areas where it's not quite as inexpensive or whatever, but overall they have come down.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the old adage, I could win $1 million if I played the lottery.
Yeah.
So anyway, thank you two for what you do for us.
Well, thank you for the call.
Consistently, Idaho is higher in gas prices. I think we are top 6. The last time I looked, it could be different today. That was probably 6 or 7 days ago. We were top 6. So that's just pretty standard in Idaho. Our gas prices are a little higher than the rest of the nation.
Yeah. All right. Really quick. Caller, go ahead.
So let's not forget all of the tax credits that are going to happen come tax season this year. Everybody's forgetting all of the things that got implemented in the big, beautiful bill that is going to considerably boost the economy. Everybody's forgetting about all of that that's going to happen here real soon, that is going to put back into the economy and help us to regulate where we're at.
Yeah.
Everybody forgets that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Good point.
There will be a boost coming, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
everybody forgets it.
Yeah, to second what the caller has said, if you do a search online, there have been articles that are doing guesstimates. Business experts are doing guesstimates on people's tax refunds.
Yeah.
And that I believe it's something like $599, or it's somewhere around $500 that the average person is going to get more money back, around $500 more.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, caller, thank you. Appreciate it. Let's go to the next call. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Hi.
I'm just amazed at how these people, they abuse all these programs to the point where they're almost bankrupt. They expect a magic wand to be, or some pixie dust sprinkled on it, and it all goes away. It just amazes me that, all the people that took advantage of all these things are, going to face the reality of hardship, and they're just going to have to deal with it for a while. It's not going to get fixed overnight, and we have to think long term, and I think that's the case that's going on, and we're just going to have to live with it for a while and be patient. But, today's society is, I want it now, and I get it now. But anyhow, that's all I had. Thank you, and thanks for what you guys do.
Well, thank you for the call. That's another great point. Uh-huh. I think Trump has a long game plan, but sometimes callers, they want the game to be won in the first quarter. Mm-hmm. And maybe you're not going to win it in the first quarter. Maybe your strategy might mean you're down by 5 or 6 points in the first quarter. But, your strategy is always to be ahead. But you know what I'm saying, that Trump knew that the tariffs would be a setback, but if the tariffs are a step to getting rid of the personal income tax in the U.S., which he'd love to do, then just wait a couple of years. Just the whole story hasn't unfolded yet, and you've reached your conclusion of how the game has turned out in the middle of the first quarter. And now I've mixed a bunch of metaphors, but you know what I'm saying.
Totally get what you're saying. And there's no one, as I said to the caller, we've got to quit talking in absolutes because that's not reality.
Yeah.
Absolutes aren't reality.
Yeah.
So if you'll finally accept that, you can break down tariffs in these bite-sized pieces and see that some parts of tariffs are uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Some parts are winning. Some parts we've got to wait. The actual payoff isn't going to be for several more months. Like, there's individual pieces to tariffs, but the caller wants to make it one absolute that they're the worst thing that could ever happen for Americans.
Yeah.
Well, that's just not accurate. There are companies that are doing better with tariffs.
Yes. Yeah, there are.
And some are hurting. And Trump has recognized that and lightened them. In one industry, coffee, that's what he did. He decided to pull that back, that the pain felt by Americans was too much, and he didn't want to continue to harm them, so he lightened the tariffs on coffee.
Yeah.
It's not an absolute.
No, it's not. It's very much a mixed picture. So we'd all like it to be better, but let's not catastrophize everything. Quick break, 9:43, we'll be back.
So everybody needs a big dose of Christmas spirit. I was telling Neil when I got here this morning, we were going over calendaring of who we have on the show this week. And I, over the weekend, booked our singer for Friday. And it's a 10-year-old girl, and she's going to sing a Christmas song. And I looked at Neil and I said, we all need it.
Yes, we do.
We all need to listen to an innocent 10-year-old sing a Christmas song. It's overdue.
Yeah. Okay. I got to do a CNS Cares. We also have advanced windows.
Okay. So sometime while I was gone, somebody dropped off a fridge magnet and it had a sticky on the back that said for Neil and Julie. We don't know who dropped it off. It says politicians should wear uniforms like race car drivers so we could identify their corporate sponsors. And then it's a picture of a race car driver with all of these patches on his uniform.
So true.
So if it was one of you, thank you. We don't know where it came from. Maybe it was one of our coworkers.
It might have been. People bring us stuff all the time.
Okay, BYU won, still ranked 11th.
Yeah.
So they'll be in the championship game against Texas.
Did you see the story that Sataki may be on the short list for Penn State?
Yeah, somebody tracked a private jet came from Penn State. They believe the people on that jet met with Sataki, and then they tracked the jet back to Penn State.
Would you take that? I mean, if you're Kalani Sataki, don't you stay at BYU and become a...
He loves it so much.
He does.
So I was talking with my son-in-law about it, and he said, why would he do that? Why would he meet with them? And I said, leverage. Because he can go to BYU and say, hey, they're offering me this much. What are you going to pay me?
Yeah.
And there's plenty of people online saying if they don't cough up the money for him, it's a huge mistake.
Yeah. Dead cough up the money. Mm-hmm. Look, if they can come up with $7 million for AJ DeBansa for 1 year, they'll cough it up for Kalani Sataki.
Yeah. James, Boise State is going to the Mountain West Championship, so they had a good win over the weekend. Broncos won last night, overtime, against the Commanders.
Okay.
That happened. I didn't watch the game. I went to bed. But I looked at the score this morning.
Yeah.
Let's see. What were some other big games over the weekend?
You know what?
I'm trying to remember.
Let's do Windows because there's a recorded CNS right here. So
okay.
Let's do.
And James, I can't put chubby pictures up of my brand new grandbaby because she hasn't put any pictures up. But you guys, he is so chunky. He's not even 3 weeks old. And when I was down there, I'm like, he looks like he's a month and a half old.
He's a chub. He really is.
He's very good. He's very loud. He is not demure, is what I keep saying. When he is hungry, he lets you know he's hungry. But that's about the only time he cries. He's not a spitty baby or a gassy baby or none of that. He just wants fed.
That's good.
He's like, do you see this physique I'm trying to keep up? These thigh rolls do not make themselves.
That's true. It takes a lot of work to look like the Michelin Man.
He's already got you know how babies have just these deep dimples on their hands? He's got those.
That's funny.
Are those supposed to be knuckles? Because those look like dimples.
Yeah. Oh, man. I am tired. I'm so ready for tomorrow to be over.
So ready. So ready. I want to laugh again. And I am so tired of neighbors hating neighbors.
Yeah. 9:49 on News Talk 107.9. Neil Larson, Julie Mason. Take a look at your windows. Are they discolored? Maybe they're leaking air or they're warping. Maybe you see that condensation sometimes that can develop between your window panes. And that usually means they're breached. And before fall and winter, winter now, really arrives, it's time to look at replacing your old windows. That's where Advanced Window Products comes in. They're the top-rated replacement window company in Idaho because they build the windows, they install the windows, and then they guarantee the windows for life.
And we've been blessed with some softer weather over the past few weeks. So sometimes you feel like, we're too deep into winter. We have a few more weeks left of this softer weather, so take advantage now. Remember, they have financing available, so if this was not in your budget to do this right now, make sure you take advantage of the money that is being offered, and you can even do the financing plan and work that into your future budget.
And for a limited time, get $2,500 off when you purchase 10 windows or more. And sometimes they offer savings in addition to that. And if you need fewer than 10 windows, they'll just prorate the savings for you so you can still get that. Give them a call today, 208-852-8685. That's 208-852-8685. Or go to advancedwindows.com. So Julie and I were watching the Ashton Bean. Is that her name? Ashton?
Yes, it's not spelled traditionally like Bean. I think it's Behn.
Yeah. But you say it Bean. Should have named her Kidney.
Chili.
Green. Jelly. Anyway, Ashton Bean. So she's running. She's the one that said she hates Nashville. And then when the Republicans pointed out, you said you hate Nashville, she said, you're mischaracterizing me.
I wasn't a politician then. That's what she said. Okay, so you change your mind once you become a politician. You either hate something or like something.
I was honest back then. Now I'm a dishonest politician. You can't hold me accountable to that.
Yeah, so this is another runoff race. It's super close in Tennessee, obviously. She's been nicknamed the AOC of Tennessee. It's within single digits. She is down in the polling, but we've shown that polls aren't always accurate. So we'll have to see how that race turns out. We'll be watching that one.
You know what? It slightly reminds me of when we had Todd Achilles in studio, and we were talking about him introducing Bernie and AOC when they came to, was it Nampa? Anyway, Treasure Valley. And he enthusiastically greeted AOC and Bernie. And then we reminded him that they're socialists. And his body language was like, it's like, why are you reacting like that?
Yeah.
They're socialists.
They're who they are.
Todd,
yeah.
You can't just pretend to suddenly them not be socialists because it's inconvenient for you. I mean, it's weird.
And not a label we put on them.
No.
Not a label you put on them. Not a label Todd put on them. They're self-appointed.
Yes, right. They call themselves that. So, anyway, interesting. When, the truth sticks and they don't want it to. All right, 9:52. Got to take another quick break, but we'll come back and we'll wrap it up on the other side on News Talk 107.9.
So you looked up the weather. We might get snow tomorrow.
Yeah, in fact,
Very
I was going to mention
light.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a chance for snow. So prepare for it.
Prepare?
Prepare. Sorry, I was hiccuping while I was talking.
Prepare for that.
Prepare. Actually, preparing is not a bad idea right now. So
pray for lots of things.
Yeah. I'm tired.
Oh.
Like I'm actually physically tired. I didn't get great sleep last night, but I'm mentally tired.
Mm-hmm. If I could have individual conversations with everybody, I would first look at them and say, can we just take a breath and pay attention to what really matters? Because this race has become about things that that don't matter.
Yeah.
And not that lawsuits don't matter, but there's a whole bunch to that lawsuit that hasn't ever been fully talked about. We've tried here, but you can't explain a lawsuit in a 36 words in a paragraph on a campaign flyer.
No.
You can't. And so that's what's trying to be done. So I would ask people, just breathe.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that I would say. And the second thing that I would say is there's a whole bunch more in life than this. When there's people frustrated with you and I feel like looking at them and going, you do realize what we get paid for.
Yeah.
You're asking Neil and Julie to not analyze a race when that, if we were to create a job description, that would be.
Well, yeah.
So in our defense, that's what I would say.
Yeah. And I mean, we have broad shoulders. Like
I'm fine.
It gets old like it does for everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll be glad when it's over too.
Mm-hmm.
But Julie and I think we really honed this through the pandemic. We genuinely don't care what people think.
We're on our island. And
we are.
And apparently people want to be with us because our numbers are off the charts.
They are off the charts. And I think and it's a hopeful sign that you're not identifying with who approves of you in society.
Nope. I'm not going to. One of the worst things about 2025 in our culture now is money drives everything. You better believe I'm going to talk about where the money's coming from.
Yeah, as you should. Here we go. All right, 9:56. Well, as we head into the holidays, I want to share something that could truly make a difference for families right here in Idaho. If you or a loved one worked at Idaho National Lab, listen up. You could qualify for up to $400,000 in compensation, as well as no cost in-home health care through a federal program called EOPA. And that's where CNS Cares comes in. These folks, they're the real deal. They're founded by nurses. They provide compassionate, high-quality home care to energy workers and their families. CNS Cares knows this program inside and out, and they can help you through every step, whether it's filing your claim with the Department of Labor to receiving your Department of Labor white card and accessing medical benefits like doctor visits, prescriptions, hospital stays, supplies, and even travel reimbursement. They can help you with that. And once you qualify, CNS Cares builds a care plan that's all about you. They'll even hire and train family members as caregivers, and that can offer great pay and benefits. So as you head into the holidays, thinking about your health and thinking about your loved ones, don't wait to take the next step. Find out what benefits you've earned and make this season one of comfort and peace of mind. You can learn more at cnscares.com. Again, that's cnscares.com, or give them a call at 208-271-5018. That's 208-271-5018. Who you choose matters. And talk to the team. Who cares? That's CNS Cares. So you were pointing at something.
Oh, I'm finding the good in life. Fox News has a tweet went up 3 hours ago. It's titled Power Struggle. And it's a video of a lineman. He's up in a bucket and a black bear climbs the pole that he's on. And he's not scared of the black bear. He's trying to get the black bear down so that the black bear doesn't get electrocuted.
Oh, really?
So he pushes him and pushes him and pushes him with one of his tools. And finally the black bear scurries back down the pole and runs to safety.
Oh, wow.
It's pretty amazing.
Saved its life.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever watch videos and go, I don't know if that's AI or if it's real?
Yeah, all the time now. You can tell this one is real because the guy in the truck is filming it. Yeah,
gotcha.
He's talking. Yeah, but
okay, it's a real thing. So, all right, everyone, Election Day tomorrow. It looks like we may have a little bit of snow throughout the day, but that's okay. Please make time and get out and vote. This is so critical and so important. So,
yeah.
All right. See you tomorrow. All right. Sing along, Julie.
Oh, what if I don't know the words?
I don't know the words either, but we'll sing anyway.